The genesis of Mother's Day in the USA began when Anna Jarvis, an Appalachian homemaker, organized a day to raise awareness of poor health conditions in her community. 15 years later, Ward Howe, Boston poet, pacifist, suffragette, and author of the lyrics to the Battle Hymn of the Republic, organized a day encouraging mothers to rally for peace because mothers bear the loss of human life more acutely than anyone else. In 1870, Julia wrote the first Mother's Day Proclamation, from which I excerpt. Arise then, women of this day. Arise, all women who have hearts. Whether your baptism be of water or of tears, from the voice of the devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, disarm, disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood does not wipe out dishonor, nor violence indicate possession. Meet first as women to bewail and commemorate the dead. Solemnly take counsel with each other as to the means whereby the great human family can live in peace, each bearing after his own time the sacred impress not of Caesar, but of God. Caesar today could be understood as the industrial military government security surveillance complex, which would collapse in support of peace and nonviolence. In the 21st century, patriarchal civilization persists in the insanity of violence for violence, and we in the USA are responsible for most of the world's manufacturing, use of, and exporting of weapons of all degrees of destruction, which terrorize every innocent caught in the crossfire. In 1999, the UN dedicated the first decade of the 21st century to create a culture of nonviolence for all the children of the world. America abstained from voting on the initiative and is on the record as stating, we cannot support this initiative as it would make it harder for us to wage war. The hearts and minds that require the most transformation are the ones that hold the most power. But power never gives away any without a fierce battle. Gandhi spoke about how personal nonviolence is not much use to society until one weds society to political action. It's not enough to speak truth to power, because power doesn't care. But history proves that the most hopeless situations did change for the better because forces for justice persisted with truth on their side. Jesus' teaching and life reflected the revolutionary response of non-violence to violence. Candidate George W. Bush once claimed his favorite philosopher was Jesus. President Bush and his supporters defied the philosophy, ethics, morals, and teachings of Jesus, who was explicit to put down the sword and forgive, pray, and love your enemies, not bomb, torture, or occupy them. The problem isn't with Christianity, but that too few who have claimed to be have actually done what Jesus taught. Christians claim to comprehend that God is love, and as Dorothy Day said, love is not the starving of whole populations. Love is not the bombardment of open cities. Love is not killing. Our manifesto is the Sermon on the Mount, which means we will try to be peacemakers. The first 12 years Muhammad spent in Mecca, he practiced non-violent resistance and was persecuted, but he always prayed, God forgive them, they do not know what they are doing. As with Christianity, the revolutionary ideals of Islam have been misunderstood, misinterpreted, and misused by politicians and others seeking power. 40 years ago, John Lennon noted, our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. We're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends. But I believe that as soon as people want peace in the world, they can have it. Only trouble is, they're not aware they can get it. And that's because peace begins in an individual's heart. Peace is who you are, and it's what you do. Arise then from the voice of a devastated earth with a voice and solidarity that demands disarm, disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood doesn't wipe out dishonor, and violence does not indicate possession. May all people of goodwill and of conscience bewail and commemorate the dead, and may the great human family in non-violent solidarity live in peace, each bearing after his own time the sacred impress not of Caesar, but of God. And know this: over 1,360,000 Iraqis will never see their mothers again due to the U.S. invasion upon them. Military personnel who were sent to Iraq and whose mothers will never see them again has been officially acknowledged at over 4,700, and another 1,740 were also slaughtered in Afghanistan. American taxpayers have paid over $990 trillion to make war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we the people have also provided over $3 trillion to sustain the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I'm Eileen Fleming, founder of wearewideawake.org, producer of 30 Minutes and 13 Minutes with Vanunu, saying to you this Mother's Day, in solidarity, we do have it in our power to begin the world again, and as an American mom, grandma, and citizen of the world, I wonder, what are we waiting for? Happy Mother's Day.